have we here? Looks like base and adventures. Smithy and Hireling are the draw. Port is actions. Got Amulet for thinning. Market for plus buy. There's also Artificer for gains, and Bandit and Amulet can gain you treasures. You can also thin with Bonfire. And Borrow makes for some plentiful opening options. Off the bat, do not like the split one bit, because I suspect the answer is going to be Amulet and a 5, and you'd much rather do that on 3-4, because you only have to borrow once. Here you can borrow for Amulet, or you borrow for 5 and then buy the Amulet, but there's a 60% chance you bottom deck a copper turn 2, and you have to borrow a second time. And going into turn 3 with a 4-card hand, plus a bad card top deck. It's obviously a recipe for not finding the Amulet turn 3, which is where you really want it. So that's not ideal. Could just take double Amulet, maybe, as an alternative. That's also a good opening. I don't think getting super thin is the most important thing in this kingdom. Like, it looks like you're clicking Smithies and Ports for a bit, and there's Artificer to make some productive use of the junk, discarding it, getting stuff, redrawing it. I think just one Amulet looks like enough. And so I think the answer is going to be Amulet Relic or Amulet Artificer. I think I prefer the Artificer. Yeah. You got the unfortunate but not unpredictable draw here. And the consequence, I'm going to buy a Bonfire. Ideally, didn't really want a Bonfire, but not finding Relic turn 3 made that look like a concern. You discard 3 cards to top deck a 3. I don't think it makes much of a difference. I'm taking a Merchant, which is a bit of a nothing buy for the moment. But I can gain a silver for free whenever I want to off of Amulet. And it's not like I need that Merchant to be on top. Okay. Here. If I top deck a Port, and I find Port and Artificer, I can gain a Smithy mid-turn. that was not where I wanted to find the Amulet. That's really unfortunate. Obviously, it'd be better if the Amulet were lower, because I could discard 4 junk, gain Smithy, and then draw into the Amulet. I think this is... Well, actually, I'm not sure. Still worth gaining the Smithy. It means not playing the Amulet. I still say yes. Now I'm over terminal, but I needed a Smithy at that exact point in time. Take that silver now. I have an appropriate amount of terminals this turn. This turn my Amulet is in play. Okay. Probably market, right? I have more money than I know what to do with. This is 6, 7, 8, 9 money. Yeah. And another set of ports. Another market. I think I want a market and a relic, but it's a little bit easier to gain a relic mid-turn as needed. Whereas a market is a card I'd be happy to have my open hand. My opening hand. As it turns out, it looks like I need to gain some ports to avoid dudding here, so the relic may have to wait. Well, like imagine that market were a relic, I would have just dudded. Okay, 11. Or Smithy Merchant. I should get a hireling at some point. I don't know if the bot plays with relic. It does love attacks. Oh, clearly it does. I forgot that the I saw 9 relics in the pile. I was like, oh, I got a relic. I guess the bot hasn't gotten one yet. No, the bot got a relic, and I'm the one who's delaying it. Anyways, yeah, the bot nearly made me dead there. Hireling might be a way to help avoid that eventuality. Well, at the moment, I have enough overdraw that I probably want a second artificer to make use of it all. And here, don't think I have enough to justify gaining the relic mid-turn here. Just take one bad card. Can live with that. Lots of clicking. Always wait till one before the end to play the Artificer. Like normally you draw through your whole deck and then you think about what to do with the payload. With Artificer, obviously, if you drew the whole deck and then played Artificer, you're wasting a draw. So better to do it here than decide what to discard. Pretty sure I want a relic. I got 5 more draw to work with. That could be one more market. Would I think work out exactly? Gain a bandit. Bandit looks all right for adding payload. If you take the bandit, I bottom deck something, and there's a risk it could be something good. So maybe that'll come up next turn. Mark it here since I find it all. Okay. No time to score yet. Piles are a little bit lowish. Not exactly sure what I want here. Sure, let's take a province. Better safe than sorry. I don't think the bot had any realistic risk of emptying markets cities there, but the bot does like to lower piles really aggressively. And if I like, let's say I just randomly dudded here. I mean, look, the bot still lowered markets a bunch, even with me having the points lead. And so, you know, buying a bunch more and then dudding could lead to the bot piling out over 2 turns. I feel like an abundance of caution was justified. If it felt a little bit closer, I might not score so conservatively. Is this a win? This feels like it's got to be a win, right? I think there's just no way I can't afford those. I'm not even going to bother counting it. Okay, yeah. I there were cards here I anticipated gaining that just never came up. I think there are scenarios. I think there are scenarios where Bandit could make sense. Obviously, you don't want to add it early before your deck is functioning. But having a bunch of gold in the deck is a much better way to make use of all the draw than discarding repeatedly to Artificer, because the upside of Artificer is you're gaining stuff mid-turn and you can immediately use it, so you get that kind of compound interest effect. But it's basically turning every extra draw you have into 1 coin. If you're discarding 5 cards for a 5 coin card, kind of like having 5 extra coppers in the deck. And so ideally, if possible, you'd rather just have more normal payload that you're drawing with the extra smithies and stuff. But there's never seemed like a great time to add it. Probably with slightly different draws, there might be scenarios where Bandit comes up. It's not like a super important priority or anything. You can also hit the Relic, which could be a big deal. Hireling also seemed like a card that you could totally get here, but it just didn't seem like a thing that worked out at any specific point. But I wouldn't rule it out at all. Merchant seemed pretty good. What did the bot end up doing? Bot opened Amulet, Artificer. Yeah, it seems like a good opening, especially on 3/4. Oh wait. Oh, the bot had the 2/5. That's actually, yeah, that's I think even rougher than the 4/3, isn't it? Because on the 2/5 opening, you guarantee that you have to borrow twice to make the decent opening of Amulet Artificer. 5/2 and 3/4 definitely the good splits here, I would say. Bonfire turn 3, that makes sense. Took a port. I don't know if I like the second bonfire quite so much. That might be third bonfire. Okay, maybe they just got a little bit too thin here. The first 4 turns or so from the bottom looked like they made a lot of sense. And then just bonfired a bunch and didn't build much.